More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Tanya Mercado is at the editor's desk. I'm Suzanne Colucci.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
71 degrees, partly cloudy at 10 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Lane Bijardi, and here's what's happening.
This is a political assassination.
Utah's governor speaking of the murder of Charlie Kirk while speaking to hundreds on a college campus in his state. There is no suspect in custody. The career criminal wanted in the gruesome murders of a husband and wife in Queens Monday has been spotted and arrested by the NYPD in Midtown. Residents of the South Bronx are calling on the state to stop plans for an expansion of the Cross Bronx. Former interim police commissioner Tom Donlan calling on the Trump Justice Department to seize control of the NYPD. And as if Manhattan pedicabs weren't annoying enough, there's a guy looking to turn his into a speed dating platform. Sports, Mets lose. Yankees hosting the Tigers. AccuWeather says clouds early tonight. Then some clearing later on with areas of fog developing. Low 60. Warmer tomorrow. Sun much of the time. High 80. Winds News Time 10:01. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The Goethals Bridge into Staten Island. Left lane construction now, slowing up traffic. The outer bridge crossing is better. Across the George both ways, upper lower decks moving all right. Not bad at the Lincoln or Holland. The Bronx-bound Throgs next starting to back up with construction setting up mid-span, closing a lane, head to the Whitestone Bridge instead. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. In Nassau tonight, we're quiet on the LIE. No trouble along the northern or southern states either. We're moving okay in Midtown on the West Side Highway and the FDR Drive. The Van Wyck in Queens starting to back up both ways at Hillside Ave again. And the BQE in Brooklyn slow tonight both directions at Atlantic Avenue. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Conservative activist Charlie Kirk has been shot and killed during an appearance in front of hundreds of college students.
Just minutes into Charlie Kirk's event on campus at Utah Valley University, after he tossed hats to the crowd, he began taking questions from the audience.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Someone then fired a gun, and the shot struck Kirk in the neck.
Oh, my God.
The crowd ran for cover, while Kirk was carried away. Roughly 2 hours later, President Trump posted on social media that Kirk was dead.
Correspondent Scott McFarland. There is no suspect in custody at this time. A massive search continues for the assassin. Democrats and Republicans alike condemning the shooting. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
This is detestable, what's happened. Political violence has become all too common in American society, and this is not who we are. It violates the core principles of our country.
Mayor Adams tweeting, political violence has no place in our nation, adding he interviewed with Charlie Kirk just last month. Zoran Mamdani on X saying he's horrified by the shooting of Kirk at a college event in Utah. Political violence has no place in our country. Republican Curtis Lewa notes he, too, was the victim of a form of political violence, shot in 1992 by associates of the Gotti family.
So whether you're Martin Luther King Jr., whether you're Charlie Kirk, whether you're Curtis Lewa, anybody who has a different point of view, you should not become the victim of violent crime and become a statistic on the murder rolls.
Andrew Cuomo noting the death of Kirk is a horrific reminder of how dangerous and normalized political violence has become in America. We must stop celebrating division and start healing our country. Log it into 1010 Wins for updates on the Kirk murder investigation. Police have arrested Jamel McGriff, suspect wanted in that gruesome double murder Monday in Belrose, Queens. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch says he was spotted in Midtown by eagle-eyed cops who didn't hesitate before jumping into action. They were searching for him, apparently following the moves he was making with credit cards stolen from the individuals he targeted. Police say the man arrested many times for burglary was knocking on doors asking for access to charge his phone when he committed this horrific act. Again, detectives have taken Jamel McGriff into custody. Crime is down in the subway, and the governor says the increased police and National Guard presence she ordered is a big reason, so it's going to stay.
Governor Kathy Hochul says it's a simple fact. Subway riders feel safer when they see uniformed patrols.
And that was part of why we made sure that we had 2 NYPD police officers supported financially by the state.
Those are the overnight teams. Hochul announced plans to extend the program in the months ahead. Officials report subway crime down to historic lows over the summer months. MTA Chief Dan O'Lieber praised the effectiveness of teams removing the mentally ill.
The Scout program, which is taking people who need to be indoors, in some cases, to involuntary commitment.
He says subway car cameras and better lighting will be installed in the system by the end of the year. Juliette Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Residents of the South Bronx calling on the state to stop the plans to expand the Cross Bronx Expressway.
Students from nearby Fannie Lou Hamer High School joined the protest at the Bronx River Houses. David Gomez is a junior.
I have peers that are constantly affected by asthma, and they're constantly being affected by everything else, single health problems that the Cross Bronx Expressway brings us.
State Assemblywoman Amarita Torres, who represents the district, said the expansion continues a legacy of environmental racism.
We have all accepted that we have to rehabilitate the bridges themselves. It is necessary because they are crumbling. We cannot and we will not move forward by repeating the mistakes of the past.
A DOT representative told the community at an open house in June they are considering alternatives. Marla Diamond, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in the Bronx.
Former interim New York City Police Commissioner Tom Donlin is calling on the Justice Department to take over the NYPD. Donlin's attorney, John Scola, sent a letter to Attorney General Bondi outlining what he says is a web of corruption that starts with ex-cop Eric Adams.
If the NYPD is going to turn stuff around, the feds must come in and take it over. I mean, the fact remains that the NYPD is responsible for policing itself, and they have proven inept at doing that.
Donlin filed a federal complaint against the city in July. The mayor and some of those accused have said Donlin is politically motivated and suffering from cognitive issues. New York City is joining 12 other communities in support of California's lawsuit against the federalization and forced deployment of National Guard troops. The amicus brief argues cities and not the military hold lawful expertise over domestic law enforcement and that the NYPD is better suited to ensure public safety while protecting First Amendment rights. The suit launched by California Governor Gavin Newsom comes as President Trump has declared he may do the same in cities like Chicago and Baltimore, among others. Another school shooting today. Multiple high school students injured after an active shooter opened fire on a Colorado high school campus.
It was just after noontime when 911 in Jefferson County became flooded with calls of an active shooter at Evergreen High School west of Denver. Jackie Kelly with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says 3 children were found shot, critically injured on campus. They believe one of the 3 was a shooter. Another student was transported with an unknown injury.
This is the scariest thing you could ever think that could happen. And these parents were really frightened, and so were the kids.
Investigators say they'll be carrying out search warrants of the student's home and locker.
Correspondent Alex Stone, Jefferson, the same county where the 1999 massacre at Columbine High School unfolded. All right, 71 degrees. We're going down to 60 in Midtown. Would you go speed dating in a pedicab? One guy hopes the answer is yes. Tell you about that ahead. But first, Wins News Time 10:11. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
In Queens, construction setting up on the Van Wyck both ways at Hillside Ave. Looks like a couple lanes getting closed. It is bumper to bumper. Construction setting up on the BQE both directions tonight at Atlantic Avenue. So that's also quickly backing up. The eastbound Cross Bronx getting a bit slow into 3rd Avenue with overnight construction. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Looks like road work setting up at the inbound George on the upper level. 10 to 15 there. Outbound, it's all right. Not looking too bad tonight at the Lincoln or Holland. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast from meteorologist Brian Thompson.
The sky is going to clear out as we head through tonight. There will be some areas of fog developing, a low close to 60, and then it will turn warmer again for tomorrow with sunshine much of the time, a high close to 80. Mainly clear tomorrow night, a low of 62. A good deal of sunshine for Friday. It's going to be a nice afternoon, a high of 75. We'll keep that nice weather going into the start of the weekend on Saturday. There will be a few more clouds around. We'll stay dry, though. Saturday's high about 78. And we'll probably start out dry on Sunday, but there will be more clouds moving in. Might even be a shower by later in the day or at night. Sunday's high in the upper 70s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
70 degrees, mostly cloudy. Many New Yorkers find them annoying and often operating outside the rules. Pedicabs. Now, there's a guy who says he walked away from a big job to drive a pink pedicab designed for speed dating.
Tired of dating apps? Well, just hop in the back seat of the Mingle-mobile.
The pedicab, the Mingle-mobile, the singles sled. God, I have so many names for it. The Chariot of Desire.
Volker Ward drives around a pink pedicab, and he's asking singles in downtown Manhattan to get in and look for love.
I'll be like, hey guys, anybody single? You know, we convince one of the friends to hop in usually, and then I get to know them. My goal is to get two people in the back there and to have them match. And what does that mean? You're not going to propose in the back of the Mingle-mobile. It hasn't happened yet. Maybe. But the goal is to have them exchange numbers and then agree to go on a real first date.
He launched Pedicab Connections in June, and he says so far he's had about a 50% success rate. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 26th when the Yankees host the division rival Orioles for a great promotional giveaway. It's Yankees Jersey Hoodie Night, presented by Star Insurance. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees Jersey Hoodie. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Don't miss Yankees Jersey Hoodie Night when the Yankees face the Baltimore Orioles on Friday, September 26th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Have you seen the multi-level ticket selling system FIFA has designed to take maximum money from people who want to see World Cup soccer matches? A dizzying array of dynamic pricing schemes that some say will supercharge scalpers who will ultimately have to pay FIFA for the ability to resell their tickets at huge markups, making the soccer authorities complicit and keeping the average soccer fan from seeing the matches. Mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani is calling FIFA out, saying their moves have made it unaffordable for average New Yorkers who love the beautiful game.
We could have New Yorkers in the stands, watching Mohamed Salah, watching Bukayo Saka's mazy runs down the wing. We could have them watching that in person, in the stands, in the moment. And yet what we have right now is a recipe for all of this to be done from afar.
8 World Cup matches will take place at MetLife Stadium, including the final. Oracle chairman Larry Ellison can afford tickets to the World Cup and just about anything else he wants to do. He's taken the mantle of world's richest person away from Elon Musk.
Ellison has seen his net worth balloon by around $100 billion in a single day, thanks to Oracle's stock skyrocketing more than 40% on an extremely aggressive earnings outlook. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Ellison is worth around $400 billion, around $15 billion more than Musk, who held the title of richest person since last December. Oracle's meteoric stock gain has propelled its market cap well above $900 billion, making it the 10th most valuable company in the S&P 500.
Correspondent Jason Brooks. Larry Ellison is a major supporter of President Trump. His sons David's Skydance just merged with Paramount and CBS. European leaders say the unprecedented number of Russian military drones that violated Polish airspace last night is a game changer. While Polish airspace has been violated many times since Vladimir Putin launched his war against Ukraine, there has been nothing before on the scale of this incursion into NATO territory. Polish Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Radoslaw Sikorski sending this message.
Poland, the EU and NATO will not be intimidated, and we will continue to stand by the brave people of Ukraine. It's time for the leadership of Russia to understand that the attempt to rebuild Europe's lost empire is doomed to fail.
NATO believes Putin launched the drone swarm toward Poland to test NATO readiness and reaction. Jets were scrambled into the area in response. Dutch F-35s intercepting those Russian drones. The 1010 Wins Pickleball Tournament is back. It's the city's biggest, and there's cash prizes for the top players. All the info is at 1010wins.com/pickleball.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
70 degrees, partly cloudy at 10:20. Good evening. I'm Lane Bajardi. Here's what's happening. Search continues for the shooter who killed Turning Point USA leader Charlie Kirk as he was speaking to hundreds of college students in Utah. The Manhattan DA announces indictments in 2 vicious stabbings on the subway last month. Kamala Harris calls Joe Biden reckless for how he handled the 2024 election. A Long Island gun store owner says his raffle will help a Riverhead volleyball team, but the school district says no way. Snapchat offers teens a digital safety course. Another losing night for the Mets and the Yankees. AccuWeather says clouds early tonight, then some clearing later on with areas of fog developing. Low 60. Turning warmer again tomorrow. It's sun much of the time. High 80. Winds News Time 1021. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
The Garden State Parkway, bumper to bumper northbound tonight. Into 153 in Clifton. Construction is setting up, closing a lane. Westbound 280 in Newark crowded at exit 14 tonight with a lane of construction, backing up traffic through exit 15 on the BQE in Brooklyn. That is at a standstill both ways into Atlantic Ave. Construction work setting up each way here, and eastbound construction by the Williamsburg backing up traffic now. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Through Nassau County, we're looking all right, luckily. No problems on the LIE. Quiet along the northern and southern states. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George upper level, 3 lanes of construction setting up. About 20 minutes. Lower deck is better. Into Jersey, that remains quiet. And no problems tonight at the Lincoln or Holland. Kelly Dillon, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Influential conservative activist Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, shot and killed today during an appearance in Utah.
The shooting happened before a crowd of hundreds on the campus of Utah Valley University, where Charlie Kirk was kicking off a fall tour of college campuses. Kirk's on-campus events would feature him engaging with members of the audience who often espoused views contrary to his. It was during a back and forth on mass shootings allegedly committed by transgender people that the shooting occurred. The bullet struck the 31-year-old near his throat. Kirk's security team quickly swept in and carried him away. At first, officials reported that a suspect had been detained, but they later said the shooter was in fact not in custody. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
In a post on social media, President Trump wrote, quote, "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead." The president went on to say, quote, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us," unquote. The president then went on to extend his sympathies to Kirk's wife and family, ending his post by saying, "Charlie, we love you."
Linda Kenyon reporting from the White House. There is no suspect in custody tonight. There were a few that were brought in for questioning, and they were released. A massive search continues for the assassin. FBI Director Kash Patel is being sued by high-level agents he fired.
The federal suit asserts Patel indicated directly to one of the ousted agents he knew the firings were likely illegal.